Welcome on in, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in, Soyreal, Cynictaval, Ilianos, Ruffles Von Bourbon. Glad to have you, sweet beans. Happy Egg Friday. Congrats on making it through another week. Y'all survived. I've also survived somehow. Honestly, this week was not as bad as the like last couple of weeks. Mostly because I just didn't have to deal with technical issues at work. Also, I got to stay home, which was nice. I wish I was able to get more stuff done for stream at home, but being responsible, I guess, if I must, if if we must. But yeah. So today we're returning to more art. I would just say we're returning to Burbs. I need to actually because I need to kind of, I don't want to say rush the remaining art parts. But I do want to actually, because I want to make a Bihi May, because it's May, so you got to do like the monthly art things. Also, I need to get ready for like Art Fight. I don't actually know when Art Fight is. Um, Wait, I keep hitting the wrong fucking buttons. Anyways, we got Summer Quest open. Although I've completely forgotten to include that in the stream title. So if you're wondering what the energy I'm bringing today is, extreme you know extreme smooth brained energy. To be honest with you. Well, I've escaped the clutches of the U.S. Doesn't mean you've escaped the clutches of the Borb. The Borb clutch is absolute. There is no escape. We go and get this title updated so that way. There we go, perfect. We actually have a couple of songs from yesterday because I was like, let me open the song quest queue, and then I just didn't listen to the song quest queue. Hydration, welcome on, Corbett Bubbles. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Surreal is here. Surreal, if you would be so kind as to give Corbett Bubbles a shout out, I would appreciate it. But yeah, again with me bapping my mic. That could maybe be also I realized while I was looking at this that there was something that was wrong, and it's very specifically that part of the like arm. Bird doing art watches bird doing art. Honestly, like it is, I consider it like a huge honor to be like the person that people do their art to. you know? Because that means like it's like I'm like being a motivating force. Thank you, no problem. Also, good shout out for Tianos or Tanos. I need to stop at your streams more. The problem is I think you literally start streams on like every single time, like the same time DA starts, where I'm just like I'm sorry, Tay. I have to, I have to go do my modly duties. Every single time I'm just like cries. Welcome on in, Chaos. Good to have you, sweet bean. Here,
What does this button
okay,
do?
Chaos. I was gonna say welcome on in, and then you immediately come in here, push the button. You know you're gonna have to clean up after that button press, right?
You're pointless.
Did this like
39 buried. 0 found.
look at the fucking shapes. You're gonna have to go get those. Welcome on, though. Glad to have you. No one has obligations to watch me. I'm just a guy. I suppose that's fair. But it's also like one of those things where it's like I really try to, because like I have modly obligations, but it's also like I enjoy hanging out with like Pop Mud and DA for sure. And I think I would be there even if I weren't a mod. But it is there are times where I'm just like, man. And whenever I see like it's usually when it's in the office, because when I'm at home I can actually like watch multiple streams. They're limitless. They know no bounds. There is. Welcome on in, Fine Point. Glad to have you, sweet bean. But yeah, so today we're working on the birds. I would like to be able to finish them up before we hit probably the middle of May. I need to probably be better about just like letting things be sketches for a bit. That's like I think one of my worst habits. Welcome on, Kronos. Good to have you, sweet bean. Because like I feel like my tendency to just like I have to do everything to the maximum of my capabilities. I guess to be fair, it does mean that like for every single time like I do a piece, I am like training everything. Like I'm getting better at like all of my skills simultaneously, which is handy, but also Not necessarily every part of the art process is going to see equal use. Sturkey sketch tip: sketch are usually brain dumps. That's fair. Like that's I'm aware of that as like one of my one of my tendencies that's like not necessarily the best for me in regards to my my usual behavior for doing art. Wanna watch me have a stroke, Starkey? Go for it. My mom just swung by with some Arby's. Also, because I watched when I was over at a friend's house Thursday, I watched the first 2 episodes of Blue Period, which I knew was something that I needed because I was like, hey, do you mind waiting a bit for me to get better? Because like it was one of those things where it's like I know I'm gonna have to watch this, but can we wait until I'm better at art first? So that way, because it's one of those things where it's very much covers like the kind of like I knew going in advance that it was like one of those like, yeah, like here's something that like really describes the joy of the joy of creating something, and I was so I knew in advance I was gonna fucking sob. And I wasn't wrong. I definitely cried like most of the way through the first episode and through most of the second episode as well. Where I'm just like, because like the show, it's just like I feel like there's almost like an artistic I feel like there's like maybe like one of those driving forces of art is just like this feeling of like wanting to convey something that you kind of can't. You're like that's like maybe not necessarily the easiest thing to convey. And the show actually captures that in kind of brilliant fashion. But yeah, no, it's so that was very good, and it's kind of gotten me. I'm not necessarily out of because like art block for me is more like I guess skill oriented than it is like motivation oriented because I have all of the motivation in the world since I stream my art for you guys. Sorry, did you see the Dungeon Meshi album found? I did not. Actually, like I got like super hard focused at work. I don't know why. Like I was deep in the focus pit. I probably could have worded that better, but we're living with the consequences of our actions. I was a fool, but we're here now. Constantly think of the 30 stream streak. My art is normally killed by ideas. No ideas, no doodles. That's fair. Burb. But because I have like so many art ideas, to the point where like I should probably start writing them down. Wish I can get it, but it would also require me to buy a DVD player to use. What kind of album is on a DVD? And like especially in 2025. Also, I'm broke as fuck. Understandable and same. Question: have you gotten used to my strokes yet? If you and the so very much I love to, if any only when they really thought so, didn't they? In summary, when and if, very much so I have to with the fortunately if so. I'm more or less because it's giving the same energy as the did you know when you nacho cheese on chip that nacho on cheese on chip is cheese on nacho chip and it's flavored like nacho cheese on chip on chip on chip. It's Japan. They love physical copies. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's smart. Like low key, if there's one thing the like last couple of years have proven, it's that you do not own something unless you own a physical, it's like physical copy of it. Welcome on to Cam Cool. Good idea, sweeping. Given how much fucking, I should have seen this coming. If you're new here, the time loop is a redeem that dunks me in the core of hell. It plays Coconut Mall, but it never starts. Each time loop there's a 1 in 13 chance we escape. I wonder if I should add like a visual element. to the time loop on stream that like maybe like you can see in real time the loop number? Would that add some hype? Add some hype to the time loop? To be able to see in real time your loop number go up. But yeah, if there's definitely one thing we've learned like that should have become very apparent over the last year or so, it's that physical physical copies are the because growing up I was always told like, oh, if you put something on the internet it's there forever, when like that is demonstrably not the case so far in my life. There we go, perfect. 13 iterations, so exactly the expected value. Welcome on, Akabar. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. But yeah, no. I had a thought. Yeah, so like if you can get a physical copy of something, I highly recommend it. Because like things what was the thing we were one of my friends was like, because I was just I was hanging out with some friends, my friends on Wednesday, where we had just seen Blue Period and we were looking for something that was like a little bit lighter, and my one of my friends was like, oh, put on Pui Pui Car, or Pui Pui, I think it's Pui Pui Poi Poi Car. It's like apparently this like children's show where like all of the it's like everything is a hamster and also a car. Don't ask me how that works. I'm not a world builder. Although Nintendo added pseudo digital copy share. I mean, unironically, I think that is like genuinely a clever way of doing it. I just kind of hate that that's where we're at. King, welcome on in, King. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Give me a shout out for King. King, fellow Thunderfang, I believe. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's you in the Discord. I'm so bad about keeping track of who all is in the group. Welcome on in, though. Well, how you doing, you Sweet Bean? What the fuck is a hamster? Good question. Lol, don't worry, me too. Okay, perfect. I want to start doing like, because now that I'm like back kind of in my stream flow, I want to start doing like some collab stuff with Thunderfang. Because like, I now have like, the big thing is like setting up collab stuff is always like, because tonight was supposed to be a collab with like another friend I made, and it just didn't fire because the person was like, hey, I'm so sorry to do this again, but I am exhausted. Can we move it to like next week? And I'm just like, I understand. We'll see. Schedule isn't work in moods and vibes. Exactly. It's also just like one of those things where it's like, because to some degree with collabs, it's also, yeah, it's like it's a very vibes based economy, because it's like one of those things where it's like, the nightmare is like you collab with someone where like the energy isn't quite a correct match, and so you just end up sitting there and you're basically putting like an awkward first date on display for everyone to enjoy. Starting to do the Borb drone design drop yet? No. I'm trying to think of like the thing is, because like I want to do Bihime, and then after that I think June is when Art Fight starts, and I want to actually try to do Art Fight this year. What is this? Ambiguous morality. But no, like, because like I really wanted to do Art Fight last year. I just didn't have the like, because I don't at that point I'd only been doing art for like just about 6 months. So I did not have the confidence to do anything Art Fight oriented yet. Oh, I should probably hold up, because I also need to like make sense of like, because like I feel like I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like motion that goes with the like direction of the wrist is like a lot easier. So like this is going with the direction of my wrist, and that's why it's much smoother. But if like I'm like parallel to it, like looks a lot. Yeah, you end up with like those little artifacts. I was wondering what the I was reminded of the Nagatoro anime OP. I forget. Is Nagatoro the like don't bully me, Miss Nagatoro-san? For people who are definitely into bullying kinks. I'm not sorry, and I'm also not wrong. Yes. Okay. I refuse to apologize, and I'm also correct. Nothing wrong with a kink for being bullied. Just as long as you're doing so respectfully. This is to some degree also like me trying to figure out like, because I realized less is more when it comes to art, and also more is more sometimes. Which sounds stupid when I say it aloud, and that's because it kind of is. Levels through the request song pouch to find the perfect song. I forgot when I stopped reading the manga for Nagatoro. Not gonna lie, you know what, Kasai? It checks out that you would enjoy Nagatoro-san. What do you mean? We've been over this, girl bosses. Whoopsie, that's the wrong sort. That's the wrong layer. Don't mind the giant, barely covered muscular man. There we go. Actually, I realized I haven't looked at the line art. Oh, the beak is tilted. Son of a bitch. Actually, is it? Let's try removing this. It's like such a minor detail. I don't even necessarily know if it's worth visually adding. But it does like, yeah. This is the kind of stuff I should be doing at the fucking sketch layer, like the sketch phase. Not like figuring it out in the middle of the line art phase. But such is the struggle of the learning art, I suppose. Is committing the same mistakes over and over again. You know what? At this point, I'm not beating the allegations. Yes, so you're... Exactly. Sometimes, like, here's the thing. Like, I more or less have capitulated the Vor allegations. Because I know I'm not beating them, so I might as well just, like, lean into it. So you're no longer avoiding them? I mean, I'm still gonna avoid it. I'm just not gonna, like... somebody have to just be like, well... There's the bit again. There is no escape from it. The bit is here forever. So like dishwasher eggs. I'm mad of all of the like. I guess to be fair, like, considering my like lengthy history of stream memes, I think I would rather take dishwasher eggs over some of the stuff that's happened historically. I was trying to convince someone to dishwasher egg earlier, but why? That's the thing I'm always like, because I've heard you've yet to provide me an adequate explanation of why I should put an egg in my dishwasher. Because if you're gonna say, oh, like it's more energy efficient, it's not. Because the water needs to be a specific heat to actually like wash the dishes properly. So like by putting the egg in there, you're cooling down the water, which means you have the thing has to spend more heat to heat up the water, so that way you can heat up the egg, like heat up the plates. Because you can poach an egg easily without effort. You can just poach it. It's no, there's zero effort in poaching a goddamn egg. You just fucking you just grab a pot, fill it with water, heat the water, and put the egg in. Saying you're because because it's done easily without effort, while fucking putting an egg in a dishwasher. It's like, okay. It's like, I mean, like technically a fucking like crushing like, you know, cans beneath your car is technically more energy efficient than crushing them yourselves, but I still wouldn't do that. Dishwasher eggs. The worst part is there is actually like because because I got a Chinese recipe book, or so not Chinese, Japanese. And one of the recipes is for hot spring or like hot spring eggs. It was, I believe, onsen tamago. I mean, there is effort. You have to travel to a natural egg preserve, escape detection from the egg overlords to successfully take the egg out. Do we need to like? Are you shopping in fucking Narnia? Like, what? What? Scusi? Might want to run that by me again? Poaching an egg? I don't get it. Like poaching an animal? I don't get it. You're gonna have to explain. You act like having eggs as a treat for doing your dishes is wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying that like giving yourself a treat for doing the dishes is wrong. I will argue that I don't think an egg is particularly a treat. I like, you know, if you're describing an egg as a treat, like that's like saying like, oh, fucking like oatmeal is a treat. It's like, I mean, you can do things with it that make it like into something that like I would consider a treat, but it's not, it intrinsically in and of itself is not a treat by its own right. The egg prices the egg prices these days, egg is a food item. How did my life become this? Low-key. As much as protein as an egg has, I don't like them. It's a texture thing. I'm not huge on eggs either. I can do them, but I actually like, I feel like if you like, if it's like, it's weird. Because I need something like, I need something solid for the egg to be on. Like if you just gave me a plate of like scrambled eggs, I'd be like, I'd eat it. I'd still eat it for sure. But I would also be like, I would prefer if I had like toast or like, you know, like potatoes or anything to put the fucking eggs on. Also, dessert eggs exist in Japan. They add soy sauce and sugar. That sounds, I'll be honest with you, that sounds fucking vile. That sounds really, really gross. That's definitely one of those like like the idea of it like adds like a texture issue to me. Is it good? I'll try it. It just tastes like sweet scrambled eggs. That sounds disgusting. That sounds so fucking gross. Like I don't understand how that one's like how like you could characterize that one in like a positive sense, because that just sounds deeply, deeply unpleasant. You know what? I think it's fitting for the mayo obsessed person to mod a bird stream. I don't know, Casa. I don't know what you think. I do, but I don't have like a surplus of eggs here. If that's what you're like if that's what the 2+2 is indicating. Sounds like an elf meal. So I never understood the joke about the is it just that elves don't need to eat a whole lot? That like they have like an entire bread that's dedicated to like they're like, oh yeah, we don't have to eat that. We don't have to eat no. But or the joke was he just it's the movie Elf. Oh, okay. I was I was thinking like the fucking Lord of the Rings, because I remember exactly one scene from Lord of the Rings. Which is the one where like the Legolas is like, oh yeah, you know, I brought elf bread with me or whatever. You know, it feed one of those feeds a man for like a fortnight or whatever. Like or like a bite of it feeds like a, you know, feeds a man for whatever. Is the joke there that elves lumbus bread? That's it. Is the joke that elves just eat very lightly, or is it that like he just ate a fuck ton of bread? Because there's definitely a joke there. In the movie, Elf, the main character, some interesting breakfast. Read pasta with chocolate sauce and marshmallows. I would vomit. I would vomit for sure. What's up, Chris?
Kissy beak, kissy beak, kissy 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 beak.
No kissy beak. Elves are twinks, 3,000-year-old twinks. They're usually definitely like, I feel like they're usually like characterized as being very slim for sure.
Okay, do they get the most of their nutrition from photosynthesis? That's what I'm wondering. What's the deal with the? Oh wait, you're talking about elves from fucking Lord of the Rings. Yes, those are universally twinks. I thought you were talking about elves from like the fucking the South Pole. We need a new word. We need to start calling fucking like the Santa prototypical elves is like fucking like. They're like
elf gnomes or whatever. Also, in the movie, it was a single bite would feed a man for a day, then the Hobbit eats a full one. It's a joke of the Hobbit's eating capacity. Okay, because like I was actually very unsure the way they set it up. It was very clearly supposed to be a joke, but I couldn't be sure. Wait, how have I seen a movie that Stargaze? You've seen a fuck ton more movies than I have. I know of movie references via cultural osmosis, but I actually haven't seen very many movies. Then why was why was I the one abducted to see movies? Because I think the difference is, if you don't see the movie, you don't understand the reference. Whereas I get the reference via cultural osmosis. For example, I've not seen shit about like I've not seen a single episode of what's the fucking show called? Game of Thrones. I've not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, but I know like basically the entire plot structure just by value of cultural osmosis, because I'm online so much that I'm like, okay, this is what people are talking about, so, you know. Welcome on, NPC. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. There we go. Oh, speaking of movies, apparently the Thunderbolts movie is the second highest rated Marvel MCU movie. What is Thunderbolts? The last Marvel movie I watched was Eternals, and that movie is just absolute dog shit. I caved and got blueprints. It's a lot of fun. It, however, is also like very mentally exhausting. There we go. I need to remember, because I need to figure, like, I need to be better about, like, my line weight painting, because, like, one of the things is, like, thick lines should be used for, like, shaded areas, and then you use the thin lines for, like, very well-lit areas. My brain power isn't good. Why did I do this? I mean, for what it's worth, I think most of the ancillary puzzles are, like, technically not necessary to complete the game. This is the anti-hero one with the Florence Pugh, Bucky, discount murderous ghost Captain America, Russian Captain America, and Ghost from the None of that makes any sense to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is all but dead. Like I think like maybe it's just because like I do not interact with anyone who gives or even remotely a single shit about this Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I think like my understanding is the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like more or less or use thick lines to define the silhouette and fine lines for details. That's also kind of what I've been doing. But you know, last movie I saw was Eternals, and that Eternals is so fucking bad. It's like the kind of bad that's like kind of fascinating, because like they fuck up every aspect of that. There we go. Or use thick lines to I already read that. But no, like because like it is funny that like at this point I feel like the thing I hear about every like the universal agreement at this point about Marvel is just that like why would I watch this? Because I don't want to have to do fucking homework to understand the plot, which I think is a sign of some pretty profound stagnancy. Because I'm sure fucking like that, like that's the problem I think with like approaching everything from an overarching story point of view, rather than just having like a world people can enjoy. The Marvel films are the one thing I could care less about, or are the one thing I care less about these days than Star Wars. I definitely remember as a kid being shown Star Wars and just not being into it, and I think Kid Me was very wise in that decision, even though I literally did not basically have any say at all in my about whether or not I was actually like, you know. I just realized because this is the belt. Is this I forget, is this the one where like someone breaks it, like Mickey breaks in and then like shit starts in the fan? Okay. But no, like I'll be honest with you. I just like I don't get Marvel, honestly. Which like if you do, that's great, but also I because we've listened to this before. You'll get exactly, I will allow exactly one wake me up. There you go. You got your wake me up. You get one. I don't watch either. I just remember the last Marvel movie I fully watched, probably the latest Hulk. It's because it's so I feel like if you are, because like one I could actually like probably like I've not seen Marvel, but based on the idea of like I don't have to do homework to enjoy a piece of media, I could probably pinpoint exactly the very specific issue with the way Marvel's approached, like the specific issue with the way Marvel has approached, like their the structure of their movies, which is that everything, like you need to watch everything to have to get a clear picture of what's going on, which is definitely a problem. Because I feel like if like, you know, I feel like there should be like, I guess it's like it's kind of difficult because like if you sprinkle in like the same reference multiple times in different movies, it just ends up sounding like you're repeating yourself a lot. But like I think that would be like the most naturalistic way to include like hints on an overarching plot. Would be to just be like, hey, you know, it would be to have like multiple characters approaching the same like concept or like the same idea, but from like very different like starting places. You know, like someone's approaching it from like, oh, we need, you know, there's this like power issue. It's like they go searching for like an alternative power source, and then like that leads them to discovering something that's like very important, and then like there's a bunch of other people who are like maybe like also take a look into that for different reasons. Or the problem with that is like if you structure it that way, where like I guess like that is actually kind of a clean way of structuring it, where like basically like, you know, I think like when you have a plot that necessarily needs to span across multiple movies, I think it kind of necessarily needs to be more more limited in like how complex it can be. It needs to be simpler. Also, I had the mental fortitude and the motivation. I could, in theory, write a 30 to 50 page critique on the Marvel movie or the new Star Wars stuff, but I won't, as that is boring. Understandable. It's like it's not worth putting more effort into like critiquing those things than like the people who made them did in like creating them, you know? Because I think that was like I said, the like last most recent like Marvel anything I've watched was Eternals, and the word for that movie was definitely just lazy. They got a bunch of big name actors, all of the actors phoned it in, the plot was like uninvolved, the like ending was mediocre, you know. So like it's at some point it just becomes into like, okay, what, you know, why are we doing this? It's like no one in the production gave a shit. So why am I here? I did not, as I am not that I am not that masochistic. Wait, Snow White in the theaters? That does not ring a bell, funnily enough. There we go. I'm sorry, I accidentally committed a furry power creep moment. Actually, to be fair, now that I think about it, like basically what I'm doing is like more of a refined sketch. I just need to like be better about like actually including the refinements where I think they reasonably more belong. Okay. The fact that I'm able, because I am actually doing a lot of this from memory, which I think is a sign that like I'm at least doing something right in regards to like my ability to actually my ability, like I'm building some kind of mental reservoir of like visual references. I forget, is the button usually on the outside? This seems right. I do rough sketches of my stuff. The first the rough sketch to get the idea down. The second is this, because like I need to do better about like doing like the thumbnail rough sketch line art. The problem is like I don't want to do like, because like I guess like if I do like thumbnail and then into like do that into the rough sketch, clean it up, and then like start doing the line art. That's kind of what I'm hoping to turn my like process into. Pokemon and Melon, glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hi, Stonky Burb. Stonks. I do not have any stonks. Pokemon and Melon, how's the sweet frog doing? How you holding up, you sweet bean? Okay, I'm thinking. So yes, it would actually be somewhere like around here. There you go. I'm good, just exhausted from moving out still. Understandable. Hopefully you're almost done. I definitely know how exhausting moving can be, though. Okay. I feel like this is also like this is a good study for me to figure out like specific details and stuff. I mean, I've been done since 2 days ago, but I'm dead from it. Understandable. I feel like a lot of people are moving. Like, 'cause I know like you, like you and like 2 or 3 of other of my friends are like yeah, it's like yeah, I just removed. And I'm like, I've been at the same place for 3 years. I should probably well, I'm trying to move. I need to be better about putting in like applications. I've been phoning it in a little bit this week. My excuse is that I'm tired. I was sick this week, so I have an excuse, but also I'm trying to move ideally out of the country. That's also where I'm at, honestly. There we go. That's kind of not really how belt buckles are supposed to look. I think the issue is that I've made it too thin. Which I think is solvable just by me bringing everything in a little bit. Hmm. Something less than that, yeah. Okay, so I think I mostly got it right. I think the thing is I just need to like draw the like yeah. There we go. And of course we need to fix this again. Okay. I need to. One thing I definitely need to do is I need to consider doing like some still lives. God, I just went through the worst cellular dead zone I've ever experienced in my city. But yeah, I need to like do some like probably some like still lives. Just like do like get a better idea of like how I want to do shading and stuff. Welcome on in, Doodle Den. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can you shout out for the Doodle Den, aka Galvin? Galvin heckin' super sweet bean. Big cutie. Go give him a follow if you're not already. I saw the piece you did can shade this belly. I mean low-key, bellies actually are like really good for figuring out shapes because it's a lot of natural curves. So if you ever want to send me belly pics for figuring out how to shade things, I'm more than happy to receive. Anyway, should you start should start with stuff around your desk for still life? I suppose that's fair. Like I don't necessarily need to get like the, you know, I don't need to like break out the fucking like the apple to just like the, you know, the prototypical like the usual suspects when it comes to like still lives. I'm realizing now, I feel like a part of the artistic process is like is just like figuring out what things you like want to like because you can't get every single detail. It's like that's literally impossible. Um, so it's kind of about like picking and choosing what details you want to add. Which is like why, you know, I'm putting a lot of effort into this like this belt thing. Because he's wearing cargo pants. Don't need to break out a fucking slice of cake. Listen, you don't need a reason to break out a slice of cake. That's one of the things like you learn when you become like an adult and you get your own place. It's like you don't need like you know, no one can stop you from just making bacon. You can just make BLTs for like lunch for a week. And I've done that. Is it good for me? Like, probably not, but it's tasty. I mean, you know, mostly I'm just like, because like there are definitely times where like I feel like I'm never making progress, and I do think that like saving stuff like I was watching Blue Piece with some friends this week, but I also have just in my back pocket for if I ever like get like really burnt out and feel bad about like my artistic journey. You'll know I'm like struggling with my art when I start playing Chicory on stream. Um, because I know for a fact that one's gonna fuck me up real bad. Um, but yeah, no, that's gonna be one of those moments where I'm like, I feel bad about my art. Let's play a game that's like all about like artists explaining to other artists like how much of a struggle the artistic process is. Just to be like, yeah, your struggle is real and valid. Funnily enough, I like how this is turning out, except for the face. The face is the thing I don't like. Which is really funny, because usually it's the opposite. Usually I like the face and I hate the rest of it. I wonder if some of it's just like the heavy shading, like the heavy line I used here. Because it's kind of like almost antithetical to like the like because I try to use like a bit of a lighter hand when drawing this time around, just to see like if how that would make things look. I wonder if maybe it's just the also, yes, he is the anxious he is the anxiety boy. I realize like now I basically like these two I basically have characterized my anxiety and my ADHD. It's one of those things where it's like I think part of why the idea of like, oh, like every character that an artist creates is a reflection of themselves, not necessarily in like it is like that like it is a one-to-one reaction, but like all of the characters that they create are informed by their own experiences. Hmm. How the heck has it been an hour already? That's I will never understand the like just how quickly that time passes. When I'm like doing art versus like when I'm weirdly enough, the same thing happens when I play Blueprints. Where I'm like, how the fuck is an hour passed already? I'm enjoying how the art is going so far. This is definitely turning out really well. I was a bit apprehensive at first, in regards to because the like hold on, let me like this was turning out not so great. But after doing some cleanup stuff, it's actually coming out a lot better than I was expecting it to. What if I gave him an ahoge? Which do not mistake ahoge for ahegao. Because it is not the ahoge is like the fucking like it's this antenna thing that like that like they like draw on like usually the this little sister characters. The idiot hair. If I do something like that. I don't like it. I don't like it so much. That's a mohawk. Those roughly lines I'm enjoying so far. I'll keep it up. I'm glad. I'm glad because it, you know, it's one of those things where it's like as I'm progressing, like one of the reasons I'm so apprehensive about I'm like so apprehensive about like looking at other people's art is like I'm scared I'm gonna like be influenced by their style, but I guess like everyone's kind of been influenced by the styles that lead up to them. It just feels out of place. That's how things start out. That's fair. What's something more like this? Nothing wrong with my biggest influence was Mark Wolfger. That's fair. I probably should start because like there are definitely certain artists like you know like start taking like and like one thing I definitely want to start doing is I want to start doing like painting stuff because I love the way like you and Bernie like render you Bernie Tyru Panda also does kind of like that style of like painter rendering, which I'm like I absolutely I'm genuinely in love with, and I want that for me. But I'm also like I recognize that like none of that's gonna happen without like some kind of basic understanding of like the principles that like underlie art. So I'm also like, you know, it's why like it hasn't like even though like I do at some point want to like be able to do that, it's not necessarily like a hyper, you know, it's not like a big fixation for me currently. Because I'm like, you know, I know there will come a day where I'm like, okay, I'm finally like, I guess it's one of the things where it's like, you know, there won't come that day. Like it won't like there won't just be a day where I'm like, I'm finally ready to begin my journey and like, you know, it'll just happen. One day I'll just be like, oh, you know, what if we tried I don't know why that shape just feels right. It's almost like his eyebrows have eyebrows. I think the day comes when you just do it. Yeah, exactly. It's like there'll come a day where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm ready to take the plunge. There we go. I like because I like the idea of like having like little like ember marks basically. Because like this is the fire themed boyo. Kind of like, should I do line art and then color, or make my messy sketch a little bit more clear, then go into coloring is a battle I'm struggling with? Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like, it's all part of the process, I assume. I think what I'm gonna do instead is, because I don't necessarily like how that's like, there's kind of like some like built-in asymmetry. There we go. Just like a little forehead decoration. I also like, what kind of shirt would he wear? This like, he definitely wears tank tops. Because like he needs, you know, I like the idea that like these like they naturally produce and like draw, like they naturally like delete and produce heat respectively, so they wear clothes to kind of exemplify that. Otherwise they'll like naturally overheat or like, you know, or freeze. Is this Bohemiku Rhapsody? You know, props. That's genuinely creative. But yeah, I definitely feel like I've come a long way, even if there are times where I'm like, I also like I need to start weaponizing the like the thing I realized where it's like, trust the process is actually advice to the artist. Or because like I need to be okay with just being like, with things maybe not necessarily looking as clean as they're going to at the very end, because it's the stage in the process. Because I like, you know, it's I feel like there's almost this drive in me to like make the art look appealing through every step of the artistic process, which isn't reasonable or good. In fact, it's probably actively quite bad in regards to like how you know, welcome on in, Kerman, glad to have you sweeping. It's probably like bad in regards to like, well, I guess so. These are what's the term, cargo pants. They're gonna be a little bit like, they're gonna hold their shape a bit more. I'm okay. I'm a bit tired, but I'm okay. That's good. That's good to hear. I mean, not the being tired part, but the, you know, overall being good. That is the opposite of learning focal point in the art piece, but you're not wrong. Well, like, yeah, because my idea is like, Starkey, I remember playing this on stream before, you just don't remember it. Listen, it's the deep, it's like, when you're streaming, you have access to like maybe 10 to 20% of your brain power. Because you're so like, and this is why like I feel like art streams are like kind of strange at times, because I feel like they're also like such an experience, and Like because art is so like mentally taxing that I don't understand how people can like meaningfully engage with chat and also make any fast progress in art. Like I watch like Oku or like DA do their stuff, and I'm like, how the fuck do I believe DA is like a little bit more like, work on art for like 15 minutes, engage with chat for like, when you have the focal point, people will start their eyes in that area, and then depending on your composition, you can lead the viewer to the rest of your work. Oh, no. Like because for me, it's not that like there is a like, I like to think that because like my natural tendency is I make the face the focal point of the pieces I work on, and then I draw out from there. I need to work towards like making compositions that naturally do that. Welcome on, Opti. Glad to have you, Sweet Bane. Typing to you straight from Linux. But no, I'm talking about more like I'm talking about more like the process itself. Like even though it's not good, my built-in self wants to like make this like the pose skeleton look good. Like I want it to look good and appealing, and then I want the sketch to look good and appealing, and then I want the line art to look good and appealing. When no, by doing that, I'm like intrinsically limiting my like what I can and like what I. It's one of those things where it's like, because I'm like limiting what I reasonably like could be drawing. Yeah, it's like that's for me. That's how I've interpreted trust the process, at least, as like one of those things where it's like you need to be okay with things looking bad, because the bad informs the good, and you won't know something is good until you give it a shot. Are you allowed song requests? Yeah, song requests are open. So feel free to put a song in there. Cause like oh yeah, Starkey, look at the thumbnail. Oh no, I saw the thumbnail for Bohemiku Rhapsody. I want you to know how much of a nightmare it is to say that sentence. It might be the single most difficult. Like you might have accidentally created like a nightmare like pronunciation challenge. Because English is like my primary and to some degree kind of exclusive language. And I can't fucking pronounce it. I guess to be fair, it is like also informed by like a Japanese name. So like as see above. It's weird having like a very limited Japanese lexicon, like a very limited Japanese vocabulary, but also having some of the words I know be some of the most common. For example, I don't know why, but a lot of these Vocaloids include the word uta, which means sing. Starkey, are you aware that you are not immune to capitalism? No, I'm very, very keenly aware to that fact. In fact, it's like one of my greatest struggles in life is the fact that I have to deal with capitalism. Capitalism is lame. Capitalism is very unpoggers. But like, except I mean that sincerely. Except the part is like, I'm actually being entirely sincere when I say that. It sucks. Fuck capitalism. Oh wait, I just realized something because like this just comes down to the knee and this. Okay, okay. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. There we go. Welcome on Zero Crisis. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Good shout for Zero Crisis. Thank you for the stretch and the hydrate. And the save. And the hello. And the check-in. It would be great to have like full body tracking, low-key. Spin! But also, full body tracking is incredibly expensive. Starkey, can you say parachlorobenzene for the song? Parachlorobenzene? Unless it does some weird shit where it's like the like emphasis is on like entirely the incorrect you know, the entirely incorrect syllable, whereas like parachlorobenzene. Don't fuck around with benzene, kids. That shit gives you cancer. Which is weird. Benzene is I'll be honest with you, chemistry scares the fuck out of I think chemistry is fascinating, but also it is incredibly dangerous. And apparently it's a somewhat frequent occurrence for people to accidentally be like, oh wait, why is to walk into a lab and be like, what's that sweet smell? And they look into the lab and they see that someone left a fucking bottle of benzene without a cork on. Welcome on in, Jaren. Glad to have you, Sweepy. Good show for Jaren. How you holding up? I am currently deep in my mind art palace. Yum benzene rings in my nose. You're not incorrect. That is what's happening. I wonder, like, what is even the process by which benzene gives you cancer? Never took chemistry, chose physics instead. I took both. I love, like, I mean, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise considering my thing, but I love science. Unfortunately, I was told that computer science was the safest major to go into. And so I did that, and you know, I was lied to. Just like straight up, they just straight up lied to me. Cries. But yeah, how you holding up, Zerok and Jaren? Glad to have you. Fun fact, processing lab work involves some computer science. I wonder if there's any labs in Canada that would be open to a random... Why does my model do that? Like, sometimes my model just, like, it just freaks out and, like, it tries to return to a neutral pose, even though I'm being tracked the entire time. Starkey, me learning chemistry would be dangerous. I mean, I've already shown you about, like, piranha solutions, so you're fine. I've been told biochem is a bitch. Oh, biochem is infamous for good fucking reason. And that reason is tar. Because biochemistry, everything requires carbon, and carbon likes bonding with itself, which means if you fuck up any part of the process, you just end up with carbon bonding to itself and producing just a sludgy tar. Biochem is just like a slog of memorization. Also that, because you have to remember like all of these like various groups, because you know there's polyvinyl chloride is like, you know, that's like an entire, like, PVC is an entire like group of like the plastics. Magnificent claws, thank you. Currently doing my best to avoid a board member who's trying to evict. What do you mean a board member trying to evict you? Hello? Is there someone that the furry community needs to delete? Biology is my I biology was not my worst subject. Because technically geology is a scientific discipline, and I'm much worse at geology. It's like learning the whole anatomy of the body just so that you can get to work on teeth, because sometimes it's relevant. Oh yeah, there's like actually like a very real connection between like your mouth health and like your heart, which is fucking wild. It kind of makes me wonder, like, how did we go about actually finding that out? Because like I know there's like the idea that like, oh, like, you know, so the phrase "look a gift horse in the mouth" is a phrase because the idea was by you could tell the health of something by looking it into its mouth and seeing if it had any health issues. So the idea was like, if you're looking a gift horse in the mouth, you're checking to see if it has health issues, which means you don't trust the person giving the gift. We found it out using the data science of epidemiology, yay statistics. Statistics was actually like kind of a fun class. I love statistics in college. This museum community related thing, but it's worse. If worse comes to worse, maybe. I'm just saying, I've heard many a story of like suspiciously wealthy furries helping people who like there's like this story of like apparently like an artist who was like doing a commission and then because she was like working through college to become like a zoning, you know, director or whatever, and like she needed approval for something specific she was working on as like part of her degree program, and apparently a person she was doing her commission on was just like, oh, okay, I can help out, and then he like basically cut her to the front of a line that was like a 2-year wait period. Are your tomatoes vegan, Starkey? No, they're exclusive. My tomatoes are exclusively meat. Sick. That's what I'm fucking saying. That's like, I'm not saying that like I'm learning furry art in the hopes that like I might make connections with the furry sit-dem community, but it would be kind of sick. Beefy tomatoes are not vegan because beef. Like that would be sick, right? To be like, oh yeah, I got my current job by drawing my current boss porn. This kind of makes me think of how you shouldn't poison test food or drink given to you by royalty. Well, to be fair, that was a job in part because poisonings of royalties were so common that like they had like they had to get someone to like, you know, drink it beforehand. Selfish landlord that wants to illegally use the museum as a personal space and also wants to replace me as the caretaker. She can eat shit. Wait. Oh, you did say she. I was like, why was she? Why did my brain say she? I was like, am I being unnecessarily gendered? But no, you said she, so I can say she can eat shit. Even though that's a huge red flags of conflict of interest, she's so transparently greedy. I mean this, like... I actually think... Like, if I get to choose, like, an afterlife punishment... Like, I want the, like, entry, like, test to, like, whatever, like, good or bad... Like, good or bad, fucking like whatever like afterlife exists, to just be like, can you manage the pain that you've inflicted upon others, just so people like that can't fucking get in. She also has a history of doing this. She got turned away from previous nonprofits for pulling this stuff off there too, to the point of being asked to leave. Might be worth you know, calling the popo and having her escorted from the property if she can use that bullshit. I'm not a lawyer, though. I'm reminded of the first line of Stairway to Heaven, There's a lady who knows all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. And then when she gets there, she knows
This button
if the
do?
stores are all closed,
Do not push
she
the
can
button.
still
You have
find
no idea
what
what
she came for.
Hey, Sonya.
Like the idea that, like, you know, these people are so, because of their wealth, are so detached from like the reality of the people around them. Yeah, right now the stress is that she's expecting to invite herself to into see my house, which is like, I never. What? Nah. What the fuck does your house have to do with a museum? Like, girly pop, that's, you know? Anyway, I want to stop thinking about her. Understandable. Some psycho shit, though. Oh, you live in the, okay. In the former attic, Starkey vented. ignore the Sonic. The Sonic among us. It's okay, I'm drawing feet. That's a good distraction, right? I shouldn't joke about that. Because I definitely was around for DA's era where he just kept getting feet people showing up. Which isn't to say that I'm even remotely at DA's town level, but I don't want to jinx it. I'm not a good enough artist to be receiving this to be receiving horny comments yet. Talons. I say that, but I have had someone who came in and immediately posted something horny, and I'm like, thank you for the validation. Also, please go away. Which is like a wild series of events. Talons are just neat. Was that supposed to be talons are just neat? Was that what it was supposed to be? Or are you saying that talons are a need? You get talons as an emote and aren't trying to get the feet crowd? Listen, I don't necessarily mind. Like, here's the thing: I don't mind if people who are into feet. I just like I don't want their first comment to be something about feet. Yes, both. I respect that. Nice job, Starkey. But yeah, no, like that's. I'm like, show up, be like, wow, that's some good art, and then you can be like horny about feet. Don't show up and be like, those are some good feet, man. Thank you for the meal, and then start. I don't know. It's like, I guess like to some degree I am putting the cart before the horse because I don't necessarily think I have like either that kind of reach or the like artistic appeal to get comments like that yet. So there's some great feet. It's all part of the process, though. This is too far to the left. Half the shrug was an accident. I was thinking wild. A Daft Punk cupcake T-Mix exists? That doesn't surprise me. Where's the fucking... Give me the lasso. There you go. That's where you're supposed to be. All right, give me back my pen. I also need to like, I need to kind of like tinker with like the various tools I have access to. I have 800 fucking like brushes, and I only use like 3 or 4 of them. And I need to like start like looking at other ones just to see like, you know, like get some texture brushes, get some like, you know, watercolor like painting brushes. Cause like they certainly exist somewhere on my PC. I just like, it's just like a process to try and find the ones I like. Well, why didn't you play around with the brushes? Can confirm his lab coat is soggy. Well, come on, Shadrach, let I be sweeping. Or may not have been chewing on it. Is that why it's soggy? Also, welcome on to Rezumari. Welcome on Shadraw. Glad to have you, Sweet Beans. Can we show for Shadraw? All right. You can look for stuff in the Look for Assets tab. Well, like, so I already have them all uploaded, is the thing. Like, you can see, like, this is probably, like... Let me see, there's the pens. I have a bunch of, like, pencils, a lot of pastels. I've watercolor, India ink brushes, and thick paints. Welcome on in Kage. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Looking at the lab equipment is great and all, but why not lick the lab scientist? Listen, you do so at your own risk. It's like licking the Borbs. I'm not liable for whatever happens to you or, you know, the resulting drone. If you try and lick me or the Borbs. You can get colors, palettes, brushes, layout, templates, and textures. I'm gonna lick you, so come here. Boy, no licking the Borb. Not allowed. There we go. No licking Borb. So are you gonna get moistened? I hate it here. Borb tastes like regret again. All right. Let's hide you. I think I'm realizing an issue with the shoulder. Welcome on in, Moonbear. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Moisten? No moisten. Oh, I guess, okay, I can hydrate. That is an acceptable form of moistening. But yeah, now how you doing, Shadrai, Sweet Bean? Hopefully you've been holding up all right. What is this? Kai Yuki and Kiyama Kyoteru, teachers and students love. Ugh. I'm gonna skip that one because that one makes me a little uncomfortable. That one's on the list of no, thank you. Do not. The picture on it. I saw the picture on it, which is why I was like, I don't like this. We're skipping. Kindly don't do that again. Because I will actually time you out if you try to pull that shit again. I laugh that the guinea pig acts as a guinea pig in the science lab for a furry movie or something. I mean, to be fair, that is a plot point in that is a straight up a plot point in The Bad Guys. I put it in a song that the title is just a chemical formula. Apparently some college students got high and accidentally founded a microwave cult that got the calls checking if they were okay from their local church. And if that doesn't capture the spirit of Mayo Riz, then I don't know what does. But the chemical formula looks familiar. C18H27NO3. I want to say that's caffeine. C18H27NO3. Capsaicin. Okay, that makes sense. So it's a song about spice is what I'm learning. All right, perfect. What the fuck is Mayor's Shadra? You should not have asked that question. Shadra, you've activated his trap card. Oh, you fool. You don't know what you've done. No. If you want crispy fries, do not bake in the toaster after frying twice. Mayonnaise is my ability to drink mayonnaise and Dr. Pepper and convince others to do the same. You are a fool. You are a charlatan. Get it. You are a fool. You are a charlatan. Give me $20. It's not this song that's like the most hated song, right? Because it's also a Bruno Mars song. Is this the one where Mickey shows up? Yep. Oh yeah, Starkey, if you ever need any help with anatomy, you can always DM me. I'd appreciate that. There we go. There we go. Very pro ZD. The seasoning is on point though. Very soggy fries. Can we talk about fucking... If we're gonna talk about soggy fries, I'm gonna complain about Five Guys, because Five Guys fries are soggy and disappointing. I don't care that I get 10,000 of them, I just care that they're bad. A, they're good. They're not good. You and I have exact opposite taste buds of after the goddamn like the fight over like Tootsie Rolls and jelly beans. Arby fries are better. Arby fries are absolutely better. I will come over there and fix you, I swear to God. Charlie probably wants to... Here's the thing. I'll fucking say it. Five Guys is overrated. It's fine. It's fine, but it's overrated and too expensive for what it is. Also, I'm allergic to peanuts, so I can't really go there that often. I have one fries that are considered good, and that's old McDonald's fries. There's so much worse you can do. Yeah, like Five Guys aren't crisp, yes, but they're so delicious. Every single time I go, they're just floppy fucking potato schlop. And I've been to so many Five Guys, and every single place is the exact same. I do not understand the appeal. Five Guys use peanut oil, so that's based, but You don't love floppy schloppy potatoes? I do not. Starkey, I would have thought you of all people would love Five Guys, especially in the bedroom. Listen. Okay. I know it's gay culture to be Five Guys, funny name for homosexuals, but also, we have to acknowledge garbage where it is, and Five Guys is garbage. It's Five Guys is like, I want to go to, it's like, I want to go to, like, if you go to Five Guys if you're like, I want to go to McDonald's, but I also want to spend 3 times the fucking money. It's delicious garbage for filling my body. Those burgers are actually edible compared to, like, most fast food. I know that was the thing that gays were going for a joke, literally Five Guys. Yes, it is in fact a very frequent gay culture. In New York City, it's only $2 more. What in God's green earth? What is going on in New York City? Oh, because all fast food in New York City is fucked there? Fair enough. Very frequent, not enough for me to want Five Guys, really. But no, it's like, it's $12 for a burger here, minimum? Jesus. So what's a good fast food then, eh? What is your pick? Here's the thing. Fast food I think is intrinsically not great anymore. Stark, you can't eat peanuts? I can't. If I had to pick a fast food place that I respect, Popeye's Chicken. Popeye's Chicken is the one fast food place I respect. I go to Chipotle, even though I also know that Chipotle is a little bit problematic. And due to like personal historic stuff, I do enjoy Taco Bell. Because like Taco Bell is very nostalgic for me because it was like the only fast food place that was within half an hour of where I used to live when I was a kid. I used to enjoy a daily Chipotle. A daily Chipotle is like, that's wild. Would I social something less expensive and filling? Understandable. I respect the nostalgia. My nostalgia is Jack in the Box. I make better burritos than Chipotle. But no, like the only respectable fast food place, Popeyes, and I will also accept, it's not Church's, it's the other chicken place with the sauce. The sauce, like they have like the sauce that everyone likes. Like you go there basically just for the sauce. What the fuck is that place called? Oh god, what is that place called? I'm in pain. What is... It's not Church's, it's not Popeyes, it's not KFC, it's... I used to love Chick-fil-A, but I'm a Chick-fil-A hater. Raising Cane. That's it. Thank you. It's Raising Cane. Raising Cane sauce. Raising Cane and Popeyes are the two acceptable fast food places. Otherwise, I'm just going to go to a local non-chain restaurant. Raising Cane's is trash. Okay. Raising Cane's is so close to being my favorite chicken place. The problem is the breading just fucking flops off the chicken. The breading at Raising Cane's has limp dick syndrome. And that's the only problem I have with Raising Cane's. Popeyes is so mid-crazy for that. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a literally crispy chicken. It's crispy, seasoned properly chicken. It's like it. Are you? Because like I feel like you're approaching this from like standards that aren't like is like that, you know, properly seasoned. Yeah. Are you? What? Canadian A&W is peak. Notice it has to be A&W from Canada. It's a separate company from A&W in America. Before they switched copy brands and revised their burrito recipe, I used to hit Sonic a lot. Sonic is the place I want to go if I want to drink and nothing else. The Sonic food consistently makes me depressed. Maybe we just have bad Popeyes here, but it's so dry and flavorless. Well, what are you getting is also the question. Yeah, Sonic. Like Sonic, every time I go to Sonic, I'm just like, I would rather have gone hungry. Chicken? What specific type of chicken are you getting? Because you gotta get, like, I'm a big fan of the spicy chicken sandwich, and admittedly the honey biscuits are good. Sonic is not for food. It's for drinks and slushies. Exactly. Does it matter? It's all made from the same fucking animal. It fucking... Pork and pig's feet are from the same animal, but of course they taste different. Of course it matters what the fucking... What part of the animal... I'm not gonna go to fucking like a fancy like, you know, 3-star Michelin restaurant and order a fucking like order beef, and if they bring me a cow's anus and be like, oh, enchanté, thank you for the cow rectum. Look me in the eyes and tell me otherwise, Darky. You and I both know there's a very little, if any, real chicken in fast food chicken. What the fuck kind of chicken places are... Again, Raising Cane's, outside of the lipstick energy that their breading has, is very clearly real chicken because it's like actually aggressively juicy, and I don't know how they do that. Hey, Starky, important question. I have not played the KFC dating sim, and I probably never will. I think, like my local burger chain, their burgers... Okay. There is microplastics. Okay, congratulations! Everyone has microplastics in them! they did a study where they're like, well, let's see what happens. Like, what are the negative downsides of microplastics? There was not a single subject they found that didn't have microplastics. It's everywhere. You can't. Death disease when it comes to fast food is going to be a gladiator arena bloodbath. This is now the key Pokestarky until he goes on a rant stream. Sorry, are you gonna play Heto? Hetoful Boyfriend does strike me as being like a reward like series I might do. Like, can I get burgers and fries for around $8? I regret bringing up fries. But no, fucking like you can't say, oh, it has microplastics as like an invalid point, because everything has microplastics. It's literally a culture meme because of how omnipresent the microplastics are. There is no escape. All of us will be fucking, like, all of us will exist until the end of the heat death of the universe, because the microplastics will prevent the bacteria from taking our corpses. Anyways, Sturkey, can we lick microplastics? Yes, but if you've ever licked anything, you've probably licked microplastics. You're welcome. It's entirely dependent on how much is in there. I swear fast food is mostly microplastic filler. I will also propose a what was the other fast food place? Oh yeah, that's right. There is exactly one acceptable fast food burger place. Culver's. Culver's is the only acceptable fast food burger place. Because the food there actually tastes good. Bacteria, mom, and child. We have to eat this. We have to eat at home. Humans have microplastics in them. It's always someone else's fault for making the conversation cursed. Oh, do not take blame. What about Wawa? Let's go Midwest W. What about what's Wawa? What the fuck? What is that? Okay, I don't know what Culver's is, so I'm happy to default to you on that. It's a Wawa is regional. You can't have it. Best burgers I've had are very mid. Again, work. Blah, is it Tuesday yet? No, unfortunately not. Hopefully you have a good comfy night at work. Best of luck with your shift. The best burger I've ever had wasn't fast food. Here's the thing. You have to remember, because I am inherently like the idea is like, oh, you know, I wouldn't say that like Taco Bell is the best Tex-Mex out there, because that's objectively incorrect. But fucking like, because I'm approaching this from the like hypothetical that we're just talking about fast food. That like we're restricting ourselves to the conversation about just fast food. In which case, I feel like Popeyes, Raising Cane's, and Fuddruckers was legendary. I remember that when I was a kid. Okay, what about Burger King? Burger King hasn't been good since they changed their fry recipe. But every fast food burger is mid. Even if I rated them all, there'd only be B tiers at best. They're all so much worse nowadays. Burger King sucks. Yeah, Burger King has not been good since they changed their fry recipe.
Spin!
Welcome on, Roaring Jace. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Like, let's argue about pizza. I actually like McDonald's hotcakes. Don't tell anyone. No one goes to BK for the fries. In the off, because I haven't been to Burger King in, like, at this point, probably 3 or 4 years. If I go to Burger King, though, I definitely I paid the extra to get the fucking onion rings. Just that way I have a side I can actually eat and enjoy. Burger King has always been 2 grade levels below everyone else in every category. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there was a time where I would consider Burger King better than McDonald's. And then as I mentioned, they changed their fry recipe, and that was a moment where I'm like, because like I think Burger King burgers are genuinely better than McDonald's. I don't know if that's a hot take necessarily. The problem is McDonald's has the because the Burger King burgers are not better enough to justify how bad the fries are. It's I would put like Burger King burgers are like at a 7. McDonald's is like a 6 in terms of their burgers. But McDonald's fries are like the McDonald's fries are also like a 6, whereas fucking Burger King fries are like a 2. Like those things are like a bordering on completely unforgivable waste of potatoes. They used to be good, yeah, and then they got changed because it cost money to make good French fries. I'm sorry, Roaring Chase. Like crispy good. The main 4: Papa John's, Domino's Pizza, and Little Caesars. Papa John's is the best 100%. Papa John's has consistency issues in my experience. Welcome on in, Dr. Wolfwalker. Glad to have you sweeping. So my big issue with Papa John's is every time I go to Papa John's, it's like they've started an entirely new business. Because the pizza quality is non-existent. Like the consistency of the pizza at Papa John's is non-existent. I won't say that's wrong, but they have the best garlic butter sauce. Well, yeah, but like that's, it's one of those things where it's like I go with Domino's now as like if I had to choose like a fast food place, like a fast food pizza place of choice, because Domino's is consistent, relatively affordable, and all overall pretty decent. Pizza Hut has like fallen completely out. Like, I'm so fucking sad. I don't know. They just don't have because I know they fucking have them. If you're a goddamn Pizza Hut executive, you son of a bitch, why the fuck do you make it impossible to order your goddamn garlic breadsticks? Why do you keep insisting on giving me those goddamn worthless bread tubes? For those of you who know, it's a fucking. I'm a secret Pizza Hut executive. It's because of money. The fucking bread tubes are like an actual insult to the concept of a breadstick. I want the fucking because it's literally it's seriously like those bread tubes are like they've been extruded from a machine and baked. I was gonna shout out for Dr. Wolfwalker. I'm so sorry. You've came into me having like a moment. We're having a moment about fast food. Chicago's Pizza is my go-to. Did Starkey become German for a moment? No. Like, go get a shout out for Dr. Wolfwalker real quick before I forget. But no, like I'm so sad because like I know they still have them. Like when I go into a Pizza Hut to pick a pizza for another friend, I'm always like, I see them. I know they make them still. They just make them fucking impossible to order. Because the only fucking every time I try to go to Pizza Hut to like get the fucking bread tubes. Or like to get the actual like proper garlic breadsticks, they're like, nah, here's your fucking bread tube. And I'm like, why? Why? When I want a large pizza, it needs to be large. That's also fair. Pizza's definitely like I would say of the 4, Pizza Hut is probably the worst because it's now a comparable level of quality to Little Caesars. But Little Caesars is significantly cheaper. Because I heard Starkey being German for a brief moment by saying "ze." The Hut is out-pizzaed for sure. Okay. I don't like Little Caesars pizza. I respect the fuck out of Little Caesars the business. Because the CEO has explicitly said, yeah, I made Little Caesars because like I was poor once and like I know how valuable it is to have an affordable pizza. Like that it helped me get through some rough times. So he's made like commitments. So he's like, I don't want Little Caesars to perform so well on the back of lowering making it expensive. I'm not comparing CEOs because we all know what happened to Spawn the John that's affected things significantly. Yeah. Which is why I'm like, if I'm forced to give my money to two of them, I would probably pick Domino's for the pizza and Little Caesars for the actually respect, the class solidarity of Little Caesars PO, Little Caesars CO, and also because Papa John is like potentially Papa John nowadays gives me the kind of energy of like my man's coked out of his gourd 24/7. I just go local for pizza. I also go local for pizza. It's hot and ready, but is it good? It's hot and ready. Exactly. Here's the thing. I've had Little Caesar, and I'm like, it's perfectly serviceable. Like, if you need a quick meal, Little Caesars for like $5 gives you a quick meal that you can eat. And like, to be honest with you, nowadays I think that's kind of an unbeatable rate. I sincerely think that Little Caesars might be the most economically efficient like way to spend your money nowadays. Because like, it is $5 for a pizza you can take home, and like, that's a meal. I give it a hydrate. They're more expensive than $5 here. To be fair, I'm also like kind of in the middle of fucking nowhere. I learned the trick. Oh, there's the stretch. What's up, Chris?
Oh, Storky, I forgot to say I was abducted by aliens. They made me wash my hands, clean my room, and eat my vegetables. Turns out I was on the mothership.
So, Also, we're on our second set of 3-minute ads. We run those every hour to turn off pre-rolls so people can join the stream without having had to immediately deal with advertisements. I learned the trick. Domino's app has better coupons. So yeah, Domino's has that combination of like what I think you need to have to be a good pizza place, which is affordable, relatively good quality, and consistent. I've never gone to Domino's and been like, I can't eat this pizza. That has happened multiple times when I've gone to Papa John's. Also, the Papa John's CEO, like as I mentioned, is kind of coked out of his goddamn mind. Man is what was the thing he said where he's like, yeah, I eat like 10 to 15 pizzas daily. I want you to understand, like, that's a fucking lot of food. Welcome on, Delos. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Can we shout out for Delos, even though he sent this little borb flying at me, which I'm not. Hold up, I'm gonna skillfully dodge it. Watch this. Just do you see? I can just ignore it. I was really hoping the borb would just. How is he not an orb with 10 to 15 pizzas a day? That's what the cocaine is to help with. You burn a lot more calories when you don't sleep. How you doing, Daily Sweet Bean? Wow, Starkey walked out on me like he's someone I love. Do you want to see me do it again? He was like, all right, I'll fuck this shit, I'm out. God, I wish I was an orb with 15 pizzas right now. A dragon orb. A drorb, if you will. I know, like, there is something to be said about, like, the inherent appeal of becoming orbular. Because apparently that's, like, something that's hard-baked into, like, the human psyche, I feel like. Welcome on, Casper. I was glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I had a dream where it was I was at a family's house that was cursed to have a vicious doppelganger spawning based off of who made dinner from midnight to sunrise. So I was gearing up for a midnight store run and discovered that the dad was bringing back his dead wife as a doppelganger by using her dough for baking pizzas, and he needed to let go. He must have wanted fat men for literal eons. It's hard coded into that big equals prosperity. I want both flavors of big. I want big and strunk and big and chonk. That's you know, that's one of the upsides of being poly is like I can acquire that in theory. Starkey only slept for an hour and you made this. Starkey only slept for an hour and made this whole narrative. Also, hell yes, poly. I say poly, but it's so far it's only been in theory. thought not with you and your Popeyes, not with you and your Popeyes having ass. Listen, it's a skill issue. That's a skill issue. Only the strong can survive in a poly relationship, bucko. Come over here and change my mind then. Hey. Listen, I gotta throw a couple of haymakers. That's the respect. Today we're having deep fried Starkey, everyone. Listen, I've done nothing wrong to deserve this. If your entire family is destined to get doppelganger spawning when one of y'all make dinner, wouldn't eating exclusively takeout solve that problem? Would I get to eat? Good question. Terrific question. Have you considered the mod base, the moss that forms in the mod basement? It might be edible. Is microwaving ramen making dinner? I would argue no. That's a personal thing though. Oh yeah, I saw a skit where there's the throuple and the two husbands compete for the wife's attention, and what is funny is it's a stable relationship. I mean, listen. Your love comes in all forms. I come in around forms. Blows you up, inflates you big and round. I never have to worry. I'm good at that. Okay. I'm good. Honestly, like, I wish I didn't worry as much as I do. I guess it's a useful, like, survival technique, but also... Also, I need to return to Refactorio. Because I still don't think I've shown you guys the fucking, like, the completed Nauvia space I built. I mean, I worry a lot about, a lot about everything, just not about food. No, stop. Do not. Welcome on in the lobster dog. I don't know why the KO is still delayed. Bizarre things, to be honest with you. I need to fix that at some point, though. Food and hunger are adjacent energy sources, not gonna lie. I eat to survive and then pass out for 14 hours. There definitely have been days during weekends where I'm like, wake up, eat a meal, go back to sleep. That has definitely happened before. I think they're still doppelgangers, but they're weak pushovers when the family swap to takeout. I like eating, more keeps me functioning on a low sleep, and high sleep makes me less hungry. But, I mean, to be fair, like, because both of them have, like, functions outside of, like, you know, eating provides nutrition as well as calories, so it's more than just an energy resource, energy gathering mechanism. And of course, sleep definitely functions outside of, like, just the limited purview of What the limited purview of energy specifically. There you go. Ooh, what the fuck happened to the beak? Maybe you need to rotate the beak. What the fuck was I'm looking now at some of my sketch decisions and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Both are necessary, but sometimes you can compensate. I guess. Whoever requests a stupendium. What? Oh, what? What is is that a typo or I'm okay, but what do you dip pizza in fries? I don't dip a pizza. I might dip a crust. And the thing I dip a crust into is very specific to Indiana, unfortunately. I usually I'll just eat the crust dry, but if I'm provided with a sauce, we only dip crust in this household. My preferred sauce for dipping pizza crusts is nacho cheese, which apparently is a very specific Indiana thing. Because here in Indiana, you actually you just get breadsticks with nacho cheese, and like that's a pretty frequent thing. Really, that's interesting. Yeah. I was so fucking surprised to learn that apparently it's a very specifically Indiana thing. Because like it was such a universal experience growing up where I'd be like, yeah, I can just get like a nacho cheese or whatever. Why? I don't fucking I don't know. Nacho cheese is horrible, Emma. I don't like its chemically taste. I'll be honest with you. I don't notice the chemical. I'm not sure of what chemically taste you're referring to. Oh, welcome on Oceano. Glad to have you. But no. Yeah. Nacho cheese is it's a very specific to Indiana thing. You really don't taste that horrid fake aftertaste of nacho cheese. Not really. Maybe I've just like because I grew up with it, so maybe it's one of those things that like I've just had so I've developed such a taste where my brain just doesn't notice it anymore. Maybe they're eating some weird not fake cheese. I grew up with hot dogs. I can't eat them anymore. There we go. I grew up with the hot dog and I can't eat them anymore. But no, it freaks up in Indiana. I mean, if you think that's weird, wait until you learn about dandelion wine and dandelion salads. Because those are very real, even though I actually haven't had them myself. I was going to say Trekkie Morph X Shadra, but Trekkie Morph is Starkey, ergo I'd be shipping real people directly. I've heard of this, no thanks. They're perfectly edible. They're the only thing about them is they get like a slight extra bitterness. We don't talk about Trekkie Morph. Also, the joke is about, of course, dragon fucking cars. I'm sorry. They're edibles, yeah. I'll be honest with you. I think it's kind of cool to be able to forage your own food. You know, I was gonna say I'd love to be shipped with Starkey, but maybe not. Makes force feeds you big and round with Popeye's chicken. I saw a lot of them today, but they're in season. Oh, for sure. If you've ever been to Indiana during May, like late April, early May, bleeding. If you've ever been to Indiana during like late April, early May, you've definitely seen the sheer horrifying number of fucking dandelions we get here. I won't complain. Listen, if you can convince me to like it with enough of it, I won't complain. Fair enough. Again, what is with that model like jitter? It's so bizarre. I think I feel like it has to be a Venian issue. As a joke, it sounds funny, but also shipping content creators can get hecka parasocial. It doesn't end well beyond a quick funny. Yeah, that's one thing I learned from watching all of the various the yellow on green is grass is cute until the sun shines and it flashbangs you. Oh, absolutely. And then if you don't pick them, if you don't pick those fuckers, while they're still yellow, they go to bloom, and then you get the very stereotypical like, because there's the classic yellow flower of like. So, something like this. Where it's, like the yellow, the stem. And then if you don't pick them fast enough, they just go immediately. Okay, but imagine a dandelion mafia. Also, just eat the dandelions. We have an infestation of knotweed, but I don't know if they're edible, because I don't know if they crossbreed with any toxic plants. I love dandelions. I've actually never eaten them, but I know that they're pretty frequently eaten around here in Indiana. I assume because it's one of those things where it's like, I always wonder if I don't want to say that there's like probably like a classism aspect to it, but I do wonder if there's like some like logistical being like, okay, the springtime is a little bit easier for like poor families in Indiana because like they can just like go around and pick dandelions for like dinner. We don't eat dandelions in the sidewalk because dogs pee on them. That's fair. They're a novel color, attract kind bugs, and are also fun with the seeds. They're not ugly. Kill your lawn. Oh no, I hate lawns. If I had it my way, lawns wouldn't exist. Like grass lawns would not exist. You could do a clover lawn. They're edible and useful for wine too. Yeah. Clover lawns are so cool, but I'm assuming there's probably like a biodiversity issue. Whoops, that's also invasive. Wait, is it? Clover lawns are such hell. Clover origin. Clover plant origin. Let's see. Part of trefoils. Many species, the genus has a cosmopolitan distribution with the highest diversity in the temperate northern hemisphere. But many species also occur in South Africa and South America and Africa. So it's one of those things where it's like it might technically be invasive, but it doesn't impact biodiversity. Fuck it, giant lily pad lawn. Yeah, white clover is European. I love the girls on TikTok using the filter that makes their face like SIDS from the Ice Age, and they try to eat a dandelion and it always fails. Was first domesticated in Spain around the year 1000 during European urbanization. So yeah, they're great for nitrogen fixing. I don't necessarily think that they have like, because they might be invasive, but I don't necessarily think they have like, because it's not like mint, where like the instant you plant mint into the ground, that mint is there for like basically until the heat death of the universe. Like, mint is a fucking unstoppable godless weed. I guess it's exotic. But like, I feel like I don't hear that with clover, where it's like, oh yeah, like if you want clover to stop, you just like put a barrier up. Like you can contain it just fine. So like, even though it is invasive, even though it is exotic, I don't think it's invasive. At least mint is tasty. Yeah, but you're also you have to deal with a fucking lawn of mint. It's so much mint. Also, like, mint does, like, you know, because the big thing with mint is it just, like, it basically chokes out any other plants nearby. I'm so full of mint plants, yum. I've also heard, because there's also infamously kudzu. Kudzu, which is the plant that ate the South, apparently. Just goes from chocolate besides them, then you have choco mint. Well, the problem is the mint that, like, grows really well is actually not spearmint. Which is, I believe, the mint that's usually associated with chocolate. Also, chocolate and mint is very specifically an American flavor profile. People outside of America think we're weird for eating it. Speaking of mint, there's a colony of dead nettles, a hybrid of mint and nettle, near my place. It's just across the street. There's a plant in Hawaii where you touch them and they close up. They're everywhere. I love plants that have, like, you know, that have like little, you know, that have like kind of built-in mobility stuff like that. Mobility is not the right term, but like they have like you know, what's the term for it? Like I'm gonna shorten his beak a little bit. It's so freaky. I want to poke one someday. I want to visit Hawaii one day during the it's during the summer solstice, right? Where the sun is directly overhead. I want to visit Hawaii and I want to see the weird fucking like graphics glitch that happens there when the summer solstice happens. Because it's directly overhead, which never happens. So like it just looks like it looks like light, like the reality is like a light rendering system glitched because the shadows, there's no shadows. Because, you know, it's like, oh, you know, if there's like a bollard on the street, you know, like one of those like, you know, like one of those like things that like you use to be like, hey, don't drive here. You know. You can do that in Mexico. You know, you got this, and then like, you know, when the sun's overhead, even if it's overhead, like, you know, it's still at a slight, like the slight, you know, it's still at like a slight so there's like still, you know, there's still like a tiny shadow, but no, because the fucking like during Hawaii, the sun is directly 90 degrees overhead, so it just fucking like it comes straight down and like looks like, hold up, let me see if I can find an image. Hawaii during summer solstice images. I call them embarrassed plants because they close up their plants when you touch them. Send you the pic. Oh, it's probably on Telegram, right? I think even as I am, I can't see that naturally. No, because you have to be like dead on, like you have to be on the equator. Yeah, here it is. This image is not Photoshop. This is straight up, I believe. I don't know if this is Hawaii or if this is Hawaii or Mexico. This is not photoshopped. This, because it's the fucking like the sun is directly overhead. So you just you just like it, like, you know, there's no shadow to be seen because it comes directly down. No, not Mexico because it's in English. Okay, so it's Hawaii, I think. Like you could see that there is the shadow of the car here. So like there are still shadows. Like you tell that this isn't photoshopped, but like the bollards, which are just like straight pointing up, don't form a fucking shadow. I would love to visit like Hawaii or Mexico during the summer solstice. Ecuador has the same phenomenon too. That's like normal at noon, right? Yes, it's the summer solstice during like exactly at noon. So the sun is directly overhead, 90 degrees parallel to the ground, or 90 degrees perpendicular to the ground. Because the idea is that, like, you know, if we and like this, so this this isn't necessarily super far off topic, because this is actually how my brain handles shading. So the idea is like you have your light source, and then you basically do like speculative light. So you see, like, you know, you basically see the tangent point between the source of the light, and then like here's where the shadow is. The reason that like this happens everywhere except for the equator is that, like, even though the sun looks like it's directly overhead, it's actually like 20 degrees. So like something small but enough where you can still see a shadow popping up. Also, it's just spotlight shadowing. Yeah. Only applies to plumb objects, but have to be in the tropics for this to work. Yes. You have to be on the equator at noon. Maybe when I turn the shadows off to increase the game's performance. Because like at that point you have the sun exactly, like the spotlight source exactly 90 degrees perpendicular. Which is why like 90 degrees perpendicular actually looks really uncanny. Like from like the like if you're doing cinematography and you want a shot to look really bizarre, 90 degrees perpendicular is actually like a really great choice for like an uncanny, you know. There you go. I stopped drawing shadows saying it's always noon. Understandable. Doesn't have to be the equator. There's always there's a good degree of play. No, yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Like, to get the effect that specific, you need to be near the equator. Because otherwise there will still be that, like, a very, like, you'll still be able to see the shadow, and your brain will be able to work with that and be like, okay, there's a shadow there. Whereas, like, if it's exactly, like, you know, like, if it's, you need it to be close enough where your brain can't interpret a shadow. Okay. I do love the, like, little, like, I love the little beak. The little beak was definitely a good choice. I'm sorry, what was that line? Boopable beak? Yeah. This is definitely, like, this is, this is, he's quote unquote soft boy. Welcome on campus. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. He's soft boy, but by soft boy, I mean he's just very, very sweet. It's not to say that, like, he, you know, he is not the, like, the character that's, like, you know, that, like, no one's mean to. Like, you know, like, he just is very sweet. There you go. It's all right. I'm melting right now. I mean, let's see, because it's May. I think you mentioned, based on your comments, you're somewhere over in Europe. So is there like a heat wave hitting Europe right now? Because it's definitely been a little bit warm here for, like, I guess, like, May is usually like when things start heating up a little bit. But if there is a heat wave, be sure to stay hydrated. Taking care of yourself is important. As annoying as it can be. All right. the smoochable beak. I also, part of me is like, I'm like scared to like handle the coat, I think is also a big thing. Because it's specifically like the part around the collar. I mean, the UK, it's been pretty warm all week. It's 28C earlier today, and it's currently 18C at 1 a.m. What's 28C to Fahrenheit? Okay, that's pretty toasty. That's pretty toasty. It's 82 Fahrenheit, so. Honestly, I wish I could be in shiny in a hot on a hot day, but it needs to repair again. I'll be honest with you, like doing stuff like, you know, doing like very like rigorous activity or wearing like latex during a hot day sounds fucking exhausting. Like that seems like a surefire way to get heat stroke to me personally. It's kind of the same here in Mexico. Yeah, from like I believe from like a what's the term, like like a meteorological standpoint. I believe there's something happening with like the Gulf Stream, which is like what protects Europe from a lot of extreme weather. So like that's why Europe like historically has had very moderate weather that apparently is causing the Gulf Stream to break down, which is like probably not good. Global warming and all that. It's been so warm here. I've been watching the documentary about the Titanic in the hope that absorbing some of the cold via visual osmosis. I mean, I have heard of people doing that before. I don't necessarily know how. I can't imagine how well it actually works, but hopefully it does something for you. I'm trying to think, like, what has the weather been like here for the last couple of days? Try watching Happy Feet, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting to around the, well, I guess the 86 is the record around here. Yeah, we're still somewhere in the 60s. Let's see. Daily. Yeah, oh hey, we're actually coming up on a bit of a cold streak, which is nice. Admittedly, so Indiana's weird in that like the Midwest in the United States is weird in general. And it might sound like it's a joke, but like if you're from the Midwest, you know I'm not joking. That you need to be prepared. Like if you're visiting here, you need to be prepared for all 4 seasons, regardless of what season it actually is. Because the weather will just it'll just decide. Like I've had it happen where all 4 seasons have happened within the same 48 hours. Like I woke up to like when it's wind season. So there was a day where I woke up and it was like a nice, like, kind of like, you know, it was like a nice moderate temperature day. By the end of the day, like so I woke up and it was like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. End of the day, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We hit summer. Through that night, it like cools down a little bit, but like still stays like that summer night heat. So like it was like, you know, it was probably 85 by the end of the day, like 85, 90 degrees. At the night, it was like 80 degrees. The next morning, wake up 100 degrees, and by the end of the day, there was a hailstorm so severe that the temperature dropped below 30. It was a 48-hour period where I needed to have all 4 seasons of clothes to actually go outside. I've been in LA and the wind was so strong, and then the heat and the fires. Which, like, you might think I'm exaggerating. Like, 70 degrees, like 60, 70 degree temperature shifts are not uncommon here in the Midwest. They'll just happen. It's to the point where I've joked about, like, I joke about, there's, if you've been here, you can't trust weather day to day. To the point where, like, I joke because we recently had, like, at the beginning of the year, there's like winter coming into spring. There are consistently at least three false springs happen where the temperature gets really warm and then really cold again, and then really warm again, and then really cold again. And that will happen like within days of each other. And then whenever, like, because there's always like a third or fourth one that hits, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's gonna be the last, like, false. I call them false springs because they just hit, and then they're like, they're like traps. If you visit Indiana and you're like, or like the Midwest in general, and you're like, oh, hey, it's warming up, let me go and do not give it like a month before you put away your winter clothes, because you will need them again. Including umbrella. Last month, New York City had a record-breaking temperature shift. I think it was 40 degrees in 2 minutes. What the fuck? That is not a temperature. Like, that is not weather. That is yours. You experienced like a reality shift at that point. Jesus Christ. Yeah, cold front hit. That's kind of fucking horrifying. Let me see how, because 40 degrees in Celsius, 40 degrees shift in Celsius would be, let's see, be 40. So it would be 15-ish, somewhere around that. Once I was driving to the south of France, and I did it in one day. One problem was it was 40 degrees Celsius that day. It ended up looking like a drumstick lolly. I mean, listen. How far across is France? France is like the size of Texas, right? So that's like what? Like 10, 12 hours of driving? That's not that bad. It's like, it's not great, for sure. But like, because usually when people are like trying to get the idea across of how massive the United States is, they just put Texas over France. March 29th. So I wonder if I'm accidentally accidentally shifting reality in my sleep. It would be cool if I can control if it is happening. Welcome on to Afronasia Bun. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we show up for Afronasia Bun? Sweaty, I don't think the weather shifted too fast. I think you were a victim of Doofenshmirtz shenanigans. My Texas is not near anyone else's Texas. Oh yeah, the fucking. Because I'm trying to think. Like, it is my understanding that an hour of driving in Europe is considered like a lot, a lot. I do that daily when I go into the office. I do a little bit more than that, where I usually my drive is somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. There's a lot of nothing in Texas. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Correction, it was 70 degrees to 55 degrees, 25-degree delta over 2 hours. That's still a lot. Like, over the entirety of New York, that is a substantial, like, difference. I would like to travel through a wasteland to visit anyone. It's funny, because in order to, like, because I have a couple friends who live locally, but I also have, like, a lot of friends who live all, like in various directions around me, and all of them are like, oh yeah, this one lives 3 hours away. This one also lives 3 hours away, but in the opposite direction. The drive through the oil fields in Texas is just, yeah. I've been sent a fun graph by Jaren, apparently. One moment while I draw this line, and then I can take a look at the fun graph. Is it by chance a temperature graph? What the fuck? Yeah, it's just kind of like it kind of plummets. The wild thing is it plummets and stays down, which I feel is like that's kind of bizarre to me. But also, I don't know shit about, like, meteorology. I'm not a meteorologist by fucking any stretch of the imagination. Meteorology is definitely not my lane. I'm gonna call you Anne. Welcome on, Anne. Glad to have you, sweetie. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to live chat. Where the cold air pushed out the warm stuff. This song is like, I don't know what it is about this song. This song is definitely one that, like, I have a very specific association with, and it's with early YouTube. Because the Total Eclipse of the Heart, I remember being like, there was very specifically a video that went viral that was karaoke time. But yeah, no, because I definitely remember a video, watching it like a bunch of times on YouTube as a kid. That's this song. Except they literally describe what's happening in the music video. What is the deal with this song? I'm assuming this song is because the music video I do know has that really weird moment where a kid's eyes just start glowing malevolently. Does the weather only spike to cold or also to hot? I feel like it could reasonably go either direction. I feel like it just depends on, like, what specifically, like what the specific conditions of it are. I know that like cold fronts, for example, here in the Midwest are much more common. I'm sure that there are places where, like, a warm front is, like, much more common to, like. A particular highlight of my drive to the south of France was sitting in a car park of a lukewarm iced tea, trying to shelter under a tree with a handful of brown leaves left clinging onto it. Oh, you went to. I'll be honest with you, because I feel like iced tea is, like, very rare outside the United States. Like, I feel like iced tea specifically is a very United States thing. Very specifically a southern United States thing too. The total eclipse of the heart. I thought Lipton's was a British business and they make iced tea. Is Lipton a British business? I definitely think of them as being, like, the prototypical, like, southern iced tea place. Or, like, the prototypical, like, southern, you know, like, southern iced tea brand. What's up, Crisp?
Am I more likely to eat cock as a joke or say cho or say tune ironically?
Am I more likely to eat cock as a joke or say cooch unironic? You're significantly more likely to say. I'm assuming that's supposed to be cooch and not chooch, because I don't know what chooch is. Fun fact: I used a Modo server that removed the meme channel due to it being a platform to commit psychological warfare on the mod team. That seems like a healthy mod environment. Eat cooch unironically, my bad. Fun fact, I actually made iced tea this morning. Okay, so I feel like Lipton has to be an American brand. Hold on. Let me look real quick. Let me look them up on Wikipedia. They're Sri Lankan. Sri Lanka. Owner is PepsiCo. God damn it. Ew. I'm not surprised, though. Well, a friend of mine was from the mod team showed me an example of Baldi's Basic not safe for work music video. Why? Okay, I don't want to know, but I am kind of flabbergasted that series of words exists in that order. What's up, Crisp?
Answer the question, Worm.
To answer the question, I feel like you're more likely to unironically eat coochie than eat dick ironically. Knowing you, because I feel like eating dick ironically is out of your wheelhouse, whereas eating coochie unironically is not likely, but at least feasible. My priors could use updating though. Sri Lanka, I call it Ceylon to upset people. Why would that upset people? Like, is there some kind of like big whenever I see Baldi's Basics, I get flashbanged now. Why am I being bonked? Why am I being bonked? Explain, invisible assaulter. What have I done to earn these bonks? Ceylon is the British colonizer. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense why it would upset people also. I stick to Sri Lanka. It's the old British name for Sri Lanka, just like how Oman used to be a den and Taiwan was Formosa. I didn't know any of that. America only teaches its own history of imperialism, unfortunately. To be fair, we don't even do that because that would acknowledge that America might be in the wrong, unfortunately. I hate people. I don't hate people. I hate shitty power structures. I think I think that's a much more fair. I know what our character from Arknights is named Ceylon. Honestly, want me to forward you to the DMs, or do you choose ignorance? I choose ignorance. If this is about the Baldi's Basic not safe for work music video, I choose 100% choose ignorance. I choose ignorance, and I do choose ignorance. I choose ignorance, and I am unashamed about that fact.
What does this
Welcome on to Prosky Risk. Glad to be sweeping. You shout for Prosky Risk. I hate low effort horror games. Irony fueled horror. To be fair, Baldi's Basics is another instance of a mascot horror game, which is a genre I didn't like when it came out initially, and I have not enjoyed any of them. I don't play them, which I think is like part of the issue. I do feel like there is some intrinsic issue, like structurally speaking, in the concept of mascot horror. Not the double shout out. Get double shouted out, you nerd. I say lovingly. nerd affectionate. But yeah, no. Because at some point I need to give like Indigo Park a shot, but I'm also like, I don't know.
Our mascot horror, The less you know about good horror, the better the horror is.
That's kind of like what I'm concerned is going to be the case, because I'm like, here's the thing, I unironically enjoy horror. The problem is the kind of horror I enjoy is not Indigo Park. The kind of horror I enjoy the most is psychological. I want the kind of horror where I can be scared 1 minute and crying the next. So keep an eye on Q. That's a good reminder, because let me see. It's 3, 8, 11, 15, 17. So we got enough room for like one more song. But no, because that's the kind of horror I want. Because I feel like horror is so intrinsically tied to like the human experience that I'm like, you know. Oh, I know how to fix this actually. Hold up a moment. I had to listen to this trash, so you have to as well. Where are my Wookiees at? Lobby music? Lobby music? What the fuck? You should play pools then? Which is actually, because it's funny that like I mentioned psychological horror, because unironically I'm almost wondering if I'm almost wondering if Blueprints is gonna head in that direction a little bit, which don't tell me, but because the combination of sequences of what's his face telling me that there are people watching me in the house, the jump scare where I thought someone was behind me holding a lantern, like that, those two things. And then, Stark, you ever see School Live? No? No, like, I don't want to be afraid Spooky Things is gonna kill me. This is my hole, and it was made for me. Yeah, I want the Junji Ito style horror that like reveals something specific about the human condition. And you get to Room 46 for the first time yesterday. Congrats! I feel like I'm gonna like, because like I actually find the mysteries around what's happened to the family a lot more compelling personally than what's it called? Like than actually like getting to Room 46. So I'm wondering, I almost feel like I'm gonna like solve the like plot and then get to like actually complete the game, which I think is in a very different order than the way they expect you to. Unless by solving the plot, like it like completely resets every puzzle and like gives a new way to view them. So you 100% go into School Live blind, at least for the first few episodes. Wait, is School Live the one where it's actually they set it up like a cute girls doing cute thing romance, or like not romance, like a cute girls doing cute things like moe show, and then it's revealed that they're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse? Yeah. Well, shit. I had that one ruined for me already, unfortunately. Because I feel like there is also something about the fact that like my brain is so like I've consumed so much like television and shows and books in my life that like I am so deeply media poisoned to the point where like that like I very much am able to guess plot points based off of tropes. Sorry, Kosai, but most people are aware of that show even if they don't remember the name. But yeah, no, that was definitely something that like popped up. I think because I follow a few people who like recommend you, like, you know, who go through each season and like, yeah, these are the shows that are worth your time. Even though I don't really watch that much anime myself, which is kind of funny, all things considered. But no, so I was aware of that one already. There we go. I want to watch an anime with at least a season of Moe before taking an Act 2 pivot to Jujito levels. Well, here's the thing, because like there is actually like ways to, like there have to be like there has to be a show like that, because like it is really a wise way of like handling something, to like set up like a bunch of characters that you really care about and then put them in a situation where they're in sincere danger where they could just die at any minute. Like that's a great way to create like a horror structure. As for specifically psychological, because you can also play on like things you introduce about the characters. Hmm. I watched ReZero. My tastes are obvious, by the way. Fair enough. You want to you want to watch the main character suffer, and I respect that. I respect anyone who's like, yes, I want the main character to yearn for death. Like any show where like the main character goes through some bullshit like that. Because I believe ReZero is the one where like everyone's like, yeah, this I would not want to go through this bullshit myself. I want to guess my favorite ReZero character. It's you, Kasai. Hmm. You're one of those freaks who likes who really loves Rin, don't you? Never watched ReZero. It's good. I've heard it's very, very good. But also it is very it's one of those shows that hurts you. Because you're basically watching a character suffer. Mostly for his own sake, but then he grows and then he starts suffering for other people's sake. Don't check DMs. I'm checking DMs just so I can put you on blast. I fucking knew it! I fucking called it! Okay, hold up a moment. Because I was not aware of this scene. Hold up. I called it! You're one of those Rin lovers, you freak. I'm kidding, of course. You're allowed to love. Days has frozen as a fucking wild plotline. You'll earn the wrath of every male lover in the world. So okay, the question is Rin your favorite or is Subaru your favorite? Because he also apparently loves mayonnaise. It's me, mayo lover. Listen, you can like mayo. You can't like a mayo enough to bathe in it. I guess she looks cuter as a dog girl. What the fuck?
Rats, rats.
What's up, Crisp?
The rats.
I love Amelia. Skibbity.
I'm Team Rem since 2016. Okay. So I was right. Wait, what the fuck is this? What is this song? What is this song? Did you put the fucking, you put the Baldi's Basics sex song into my fucking... Did you put it in the fucking music queue? I said I would rather live in ignorance, you godless fuck. I haven't watched the show, I've only seen it in memes. Unfortunately, I closed the song queue, which turns off all the commands. I need to, like, actually, like, be like, hey, Nightbot, it would be nice if you had this functionality. I remember when I put a censored version of this into the queue. Also, we're about to run our... Oh, I guess it's too late. Who did this? This was Oceano. Oceano! You fucking... This, like, I swear to God, Oceano has, like, occasionally just, like, Oceano's primary shtick is the cupcake remixes, but also Oceano will just, like, put shit in that other people would put in as well, just to, like, make it so I have to complain at them. Censored, not my streamer. I don't know why I'm putting so much fucking focus in this cake. The good news is I'm pretty sure I'll have the lining done by next time. I'm probably gonna do only flats for these guys. Because I'm not about to do... I also need to figure out how I'm gonna, because I need to figure out how to draw Chibi, because I want to turn these two into a comic about gay bird boyfriends. Question: does Rem count as a yandere? I've not seen ReZero, so I don't know. I think so. Well, no, I don't think so, because I don't think she's possessive to the same degree that yandere typically are. Like, she's willing to let him, like, just live his life, so long as she gets to be present. Starkey says they're gonna do flats, but in 2 weeks he'll be coloring. When he gets to coloring, he'll be trained to cell shade. I mean, okay, Loki. I actually probably should figure out how to do cell shading. Like that's something I should also probably figure out how to do. I think the save reminder. That's like the second time I've saved this entire thing to stream. I've been streaming for 3 hours, by the way. Welcome on Gadget. Could that be a sweet bean? Do a shout out for Gadget real quick. Perfect. All right. Okay. Could you stream art for 6 hours in theory? I actually probably could. I feel like I probably actually could stream art for like 6 to 8 hours. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I feel like there's no like energy expenditure to it. There's just certain things where it's like I feel like it's like stuff that where time goes like flying by as soon as I get like started doing it. Stuff like that I feel like I could easily do for multiple hours. I guess also because the big thing is like when I'm doing art, I'm not necessarily like as focused on like trying to make sure I'm like making the stream like super engaging, I guess. Because I feel like the people who show up for art streams are there to enjoy the process more than they are to like actually like than they are necessarily to the art be looking poppin'. Oh, thank you. I'm here for the stream vibes. That's fair. There was that poll you did that was like kind of sweet, where it's like the vast majority of people come to hang out in streams for my personality, which I guess to be fair, like, you know, it I don't know. It's just one of those like nice thoughts to have, to be like, oh, people are here because they just enjoy me, not because of anything in particular I'm doing. And that's definitely the kind of like that's the kind of space I want to build. You know? I'm also here for the Borb Ussy popping. Oh my god. Is this AI? Kasai. Kasai. Yes. Well, grabs you, folds you. Oh, we're ending on a fucking Cupcake remix. Oh, Shadow, what did you sneak a Cupcake remix in here? I'm kind of impressed, low key. I did not see that I did not see the Cupcake remix hit the song request. I'm that skilled. I respect it. This is I this I this guy is thick. Look at this meatball ass bird. It fucking is. my man is thick. Goddamn. Would you listen to a Bluey Cupcake remix at church or a funeral? No, absolutely not. Like, Fortnite makes garbage music that's uniquely bad every season. This is reminding me of the fucking like the dancing Palpatine from the like the Star, wasn't there like a Just Dance Star Wars or something? Oh, it's the Star Wars Connect games. Wait, did she say Wookie Wookie gets me weak wet when you come from Sheik? What? Girly Pop, I respect the monster fucker grind, but you can't be talking about that in Fortnite. It's a children's game. That's a would you rather. Which one's worse? I feel like I would rather listen to a Bluey remix than a Cupcake remix. Oh, are you talking about a church or funeral? I feel like a church, because at least then I can be like, oh, my phone, it was on. Whoopsie doopsie. Oh, NPC, they can do a subscription for 5 months. Enjoy the NPC monthly, Sweet Bean.
You're doing well, less than 3.
Thank you. Being a streamer is a lot of fun. There's also basically the constant anxiety that, like, you know, because, like, I value my stream more than just its numbers, but the numbers are also omnipresent, and I try my hardest to avoid looking, but sometimes I can't help it. Like, literally, like, can't help it. I know there's a mod that apparently, like, makes it so that way, like, it hides all viewer numbers and randomizes, like, the list of people who are streaming. Which wouldn't necessarily be intrinsically bad. Oh, Cider! Oh, shoot. Welcome on, Raiders! Give me a shout for Cider Lord. How is Walking Dead? Also, hold up a moment. Let me go and pause the music real quick. Welcome on in, though. For those who don't know, I'm Starkmorph, to get chaos creating the internet. Where I stream live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 PBST. On Mondays and Tuesdays, 6 to 9 PBST, Thursdays, Fridays. Mostly play indie games, but I've been learning art over the course of the last year. We are actually, like, we were close to wrapping up streams, so we'll go ahead and play the final song that was in the queue, which is Toto by Africa Cupcake Remix. So enjoy this. And I'm working on 2 birds. They're gay and they're boyfriends. And I need to figure out how to do chibi versions of them, because I'm gonna make a webcomic about them. But yeah, how is Walking Dead? I do love that Licka emote. It's like actually so well. Can I ask who did that? Because I need to get a bunch of animated emotes done. And I actually, like, I admire the quality that goes into that. Be careful about licking the Borbs. He farts lasers when licked. Yes. Either he farts lasers when licked, or you get consumed by the Borb and become one with the lab. But you know, how are you holding up? I've been learning to draw recently too. Clipsy is such a fun program to use. It really is. I still only know the very basics. I need to, like, have someone sit me down and be like, okay, here's all of the cool things about this program that you aren't using. But yeah, this is about because I started like January of last year, so I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now, and I like to think that I'm showing some progress. Oh, so I'm seeing what I think might be the problem with the pecs. Which is I kind of the arts Fox the artist, wow, okay. That's a lot of I love also the sniffa is just so haunted. I love it a lot. I need to figure out how to do, like, my own animations as well, probably, as, like, a just in case. But yeah, no, when did you start learning art, if I can ask? Oh, but also, if you got to do the if you got to do, like, the post stream self care, I get it completely. Because, like, I definitely know that by the time I'm done streaming, I'm like, all right. All of the energy has left my body. I will now go, liquefy into a puddle in the other room for like 30 seconds before reforming into a human being. All right. Well, that was the last song of the day, unfortunately. All right, perfect. Also, let me make a note for myself for Taya Art Fox. Now I'm around for a bit. I've done it since high school, but I haven't done it really since. So I'm a ton of rust to be scraped off, but I'm happy. I'm proud of what I've been able to do so far. That's awesome. Let me go ahead and make a note real quick for myself. And let's put the outro playlist on. That is not the right program. There's got to be something to be said about the fact that like when you're a streamer, you have like, how many programs do I have open? Let's see, like it has to be at least a dozen. Which is, hold up, that's not the right playlist. That's the right playlist. All right, let's go to the outro and see who's live, so that way we can rate out and say hi to a new friend potentially. Sorry you rated in. Unfortunately, I have plans yet this evening, so I unfortunately can't stick around long. Let's go see who's live. Let's go say hi to maybe a new friend. We rated into let's see. We rated into a Thunderfang member this week, I'm pretty sure. So yes, we did, because it was Alina Lioness. Let's see who's live. I'm looking and I'm stalking. It's been a bit since we've raided into, let's see, we've raided into Jake, we raided into Azeldraws, we can raid into Radical. Oh my god, wait. We double raid. It's a chain raid. We got this. All right. Okay, so Mari's having extreme brain rot about her one of her favorite bands recently, Pup the Band, released a new album literally last night. So she's been having extreme brain rot about that. So let's go with Pup Drop. Because I think she's specifically, yeah, she's doing a Pup the Band. Let's do Pup the Band. Let me see. There you go. Use my emotes or whose emotes you happen to have. Let me go and get the emote list version ready. If you're not subscribed to anyone here on Twitch. Let me see. There we go. Thank you, Windows, for not fighting me on that one. Pup the Band. Because yeah, y'all ain't ready. She very much loves this band, and it's been a hot minute since we've raided in, so I'm gonna go stop by to say hi. Let's turn the raid over to Radical Mari. But yeah, so anyways, for those of you who are new here, who just popped in from the raid, I'm Sarkamorph, Big A Chaos Crow Internet, where I stream live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly I play indie games. However, every Tuesday and Friday we've been learning how to do art. So yeah, I'd like to think I've made a lot of progress. I need to be better about like reposting the art that I do make, as well as the art that I get commissioned. That's just like general thoughts that something I need to improve on, as as like a I don't know, blue sky poster. I got a blue sky, by the way, which is I can spell. I got a blue sky, by the way, if that's, if you want to know where you can find me. That is the place where I post basically all that information. I have a YouTube if you'd like to catch up on the VODs there, see what we've been up to, see the progress of the art from day one. Even the very beginning VODs where I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was drawn without pressure sensitivity. Because I didn't have the proper driver set for this fucking tablet. So there was no pressure sensitivity and no fucking what's the term for, like, no smoothing, which was fucking wild. I also have a Discord if you'd like to pop in there, say hello, Sweet Beans, to the cars, get the Sweet Beans post. All right, and hopefully this coming weekend I will get into the habit of posting some stuff to Skylight, which is the blue sky TikTok thing. So it was just holding you back. Exactly. Anyways, I love you guys to bits. Let's go send the love over to Mari so that way she can brain rot about Pup the Band at you. And yeah, I will catch you Monday for more blueprints probably.